Hi, Donna Schwartz here, and I want to welcome you to my video on producing sounds for brass instruments. For some people, it's really confusing to how to produce a sound on a brass instrument. I can tell you from my own experience, I grew up playing the trumpet, and for the life of me, I couldn't figure out how to get a sound out of that thing for 3 months. Obviously now I can, and I'm using all my experience teaching and playing to help you. So the main gist of this is the following. Your lips need to be touching and air needs to be flowing through your closed lips in order for them to vibrate to get the sound. For a saxophone or a clarinet, they have a reed, but the reed is the thing that's vibrating, and that's what's helping to make the sound. Well, we have to act like the reed with our lips, and we have to set them up in a certain way. And to be honest with you, it's a lot more simple than you would honestly think. And really, the best motivation for getting a good sound on a brass instrument is really thinking musically and having a good musical vocabulary of songs, of patterns in your head, so that when you're going to produce the tone, your body will help to figure out the proper embouchure or facial muscle setting for you. Okay? So to start with, I'm going to start without the instrument. One of the most important things for a brass instrument, woodwind instrument, is breathing. Okay? And the first facet to that, the first part of that, is your posture. If you're seated, your feet should be flat on the floor, your knees should be bent at right angles, feet flat on the floor. Okay? Your legs are about shoulder width apart, and sometimes hip width apart. That's perfectly fine. I like to think about having a string at the top of my head shooting up to the ceiling, and that automatically just gives me good posture here. The key part of this also, if you're seated, you should be at the edge of the chair. If you're seated all the way in the back of the chair and you're slouched, you can kind of feel it. Your breathing's inhibited, and you're not going to get a good sound. So I like to sit all the way up at the edge of the chair, string to the ceiling, feet flat on the floor. First, I'm going to walk you through some breathing, not exercises so much. I'm going to show you that in a separate video, but I want to show you without the instrument what I'm thinking about. So with good posture, I'm going to start off by taking a deep breath from my mouth. Now, one important point, when you play a brass wind or a woodwind instrument, all right, trumpet, trombone, French horn, saxophones, flutes, you need air. And you don't breathe from your nose, you breathe from your mouth. Breathing from your mouth is more efficient. You get a lot more air in quickly than if you breathe through your nose. Think about when you have a cold, or if you're like me and you have a lot of allergies, and it's springtime or fall time. Can you breathe through your nose very efficiently? No. So you really want to get into the habit of breathing from your mouth from the very beginning. So with good posture, I'm just going to take a nice deep breath from my mouth and just blow it out. I'm going to think the word to. Now when I breathe in, I like to think about just taking the air in nice and relaxed, not panicked. That's a panic breath, and that doesn't get you anywhere. But nice and relaxed means my shoulders are back, okay, that they're back and they're relaxed. The air comes in, I'm going to pretend they're filling up my stomach area. It's not really my stomach, but just, you know, for a good visual. I take an air, fill up my stomach area, and I keep that air pressure in there, having my stomach kind of pushed out as I'm blowing out. When I'm blowing out, for right now, I want to think the syllable to, but I want to think small t and big O-O. I do not want to use my vocal cords. You don't want to play any instrument using your vocal cords. You will get sore throats all the time, and you could probably have throat problems too. So, again, I'm just going to breathe, blow out, and when I'm blowing out, I'm thinking about my stomach area staying out, and staying out as long as it can. By thinking the word to, I'm doing something called articulation. When I'm doing these breathing exercises, and what I'd like to do is I'd like to do a breathing exercise and have you repeat it right after me. I want you to think about how you're feeling. I want you to think about where the tip of your tongue is hitting when you're saying the word to, when you're thinking the word to. So I'm going to do an example, and I'll point to you to do the same example. Let me do another one. Where is the tip of your tongue hitting? Think about that. For a lot of people, it's hitting behind their top teeth. If this is your top teeth and this is the roof of your mouth, for a lot of people, the tip of the tongue is hitting here. Some people, the tip of the tongue, if this is your bottom teeth and this is the bottom part of your mouth, for some people, the tip of the tongue is hitting against the bottom teeth here or even down here. That's fine. Just identify where that tip of the tongue is hitting for you. This is important. I also want you to be aware of how relaxed you are right now. There's no pressure, right? Let's do one more example. So see how relaxed you are. Okay, now the next step is going to be what I call lip buzzing. When you're dealing with lip buzzing, we're not using any mouthpiece or instrument. We're using our air and our facial muscles, called our embouchure, and our lips, to produce the sound. So here's the best way to think of a brass embouchure. Think of the letter M and hold it. But when you think of it, no sound with your vocal cords, so just think. That is the embouchure for a brass instrument. Notice how your lips are closed. Notice how, I call this an indentation or a valley. There's like a little valley in your chin. I could stick my finger there. Notice how the corners of my mouth are drawn in to my teeth. It's almost a smile. Not a total smile. That's better. But it's almost a smile, but it's not really. So it's just... Now, if that doesn't work for you, what works with a lot of my kids is thinking lemon face. You ever bite into a lemon? What's the face you make? When you're playing a higher note on a brass instrument, it's going to look more like this. Okay? So, what I'm going to do to lip buzz, I'm going to take a nice deep breath. I'm going to close my lips as if I'm thinking the letter M or the lemon face. And then I'm going to open my lips up slightly to take in more air again. Actually, let me change that again. I'm going to think the letter M. I'm going to breathe through my mouth by opening my lips up a little bit. Close my mouth in the M position. And then when I want to release the air, I'm going to think of that syllable to. That syllable to releases the air, which makes my lips that are touching, top lip, bottom lip, makes my lips that are touching vibrate, and then the air goes through my closed lips and produces the sound. So let me get a little bit closer to show you this. So M, breathe, close. Now yes, that looks funny. It sounds funny. You could laugh, that's fine, that's good. Good, now that you got that out of your system, let me show you this again. So I think M, I breathe, close. Now, one thing I should point out, everybody's lips are different, everybody's teeth are different. My top lip is thinner than my bottom lip. My bottom lip is thicker. So I don't want you to think that I'm rolling in my lips in any way. I'm not. I'm using what's right for me, my M position. Okay? So let me do this example, and then I'd like for you to do it after me. And this is more for a trumpet, French horn embouchure. If I was going to do a trombone embouchure, I would think of a lower note. I would go M. This would be firm. My corners would be firm. My lips would be a little bit looser. But for now, I want to deal with the trumpet embouchure, or French horn embouchure. So me first, then you. So I'm going to think M. Try that. Okay. At first, I will say you may feel like your nose is going to tickle, okay, or may feel like itchy for a little bit over here. That's fine. That's going to go away, okay? All right. Now, the next step is to think of that syllable to, and That's called articulation, by the way. We have to articulate on a wind instrument or else it will really not sound good. So I'm going to articulate a few notes in one breath, like this. M. My motion of like I did before, I'm doing it again here. And what I'm being very mindful of is being just as relaxed as when I was going without my lips touching. So let's try that again. I'm going to do the example, and then I'm going to have you do it. And this time I'll guide you through it. So I'm going to think M, I breathe. So now think M, breathe, close, buzz. Okay. Don't be worried if your lips aren't buzzing the full sound yet, or you know, you're feeling uncomfortable, whatever. This is a skill that takes time. And for anything that you want to do or like to do, you have to be patient with yourself and allow yourself to make mistakes and to learn. Okay, that's really key. If you're not making mistakes, you're not learning. Okay, going ahead. So that's lip buzzing. I would strongly recommend that you do not do a lot of that. Interesting, a teacher saying that. No, that's true. You don't want to do a lot of lip buzzing. You're dealing with very small, very fine facial muscles. These aren't muscles that are big like your bicep, okay? These are muscles that are much smaller. So if you do too much lip buzzing, you could eventually, you know, do a little bit of damage there. So as a beginner, what I would say is, you know, if you practice every day, which would be a great thing, again, you know, good practice habits lead to great, you know, performance later on. Do maybe 30 seconds, minute tops of lip buzzing, okay? And if I were you, I'd also do it in front of a mirror just to see what it looks like. It's always good to have a visual. The next step is with the mouthpiece. I'm going to use my trumpet mouthpiece. And I'm going to do the same thing that I just did on my lips. Okay, but here's the thing there. Here's where people get hung up. The mouthpiece has certain components to it. I'm just going to basically talk about the rim and the cup. A lot of people think when you play a brass instrument that, let's say this is your top lip and your thumb is your bottom lip, that your lips go into the mouthpiece. They don't. Okay? It's just like I just showed you. Your lips are against your teeth. The corners of your mouth are drawn in. When you want to play higher, you're going to be dealing with much faster air, and you're going to be dealing with your corners being firmer and rolling in. Okay, it's not a question of your lips going into the mouthpiece, nor is it a question of this rim pressing into your face so much that, you know, you get, you know, really big rings that last a long time on your face. So the first step for this will be the mouthpiece placement. Again, everybody's got a different facial setup, different lips, different teeth. Some people have braces. All right, so the general rule is you want to put the mouthpiece in the center with the mouthpiece covering half of your top and half of your bottom lip. You don't want this rim on the red part of your lips. Why? The reason why is that if you put the rim on the red part of your lip, it actually traps your lip and it prevents it from the full vibration. So you actually want the rim just below the red here, just below the red here. Okay? So I'm going to place the mouthpiece, I guess for me it's pretty much dead center. Now, again, here's another point of contention. Some people do 50-50. Some people place it so that you see more of the bottom lip covered. Some people, like me, I like to place the mouthpiece higher so that the rim is still here, but the rim is going to come up a little higher up here. If you play French horn, I would recommend that for your embouchure. And I would recommend that for trumpet too, but again, if you're finding that you're not getting a good clear buzz from that mouthpiece placement, then you need to experiment and find the right spot where you get the clearest sound. So I'm going to do the same exercise that I did before, except I'm going to add the mouthpiece. But I'm going to do one little mini exercise before. I want to make sure that I'm getting my air flowing. I'm going to place the mouthpiece up, and I'm going to keep my lips separated. I'm just going to do what I call air sounds. And air sounds are basically making sure that I'm articulating by thinking, getting the air flowing through the mouthpiece, being able to feel the air going through the mouthpiece onto my hand, and feeling how relaxed that is before I wind up closing my lips. So the proper way to hold the mouthpiece is with 2 fingers, your pointer and your thumb. If this is difficult for you at first, do 2 fingers and a thumb. But I do this because I don't want to jam the thing in my face. That's not how you get a sound. Remember, you're the one that makes the sound, not the mouthpiece or the instrument. So I'm going to think M. I'm going to put the mouthpiece up. I'm going to separate my lips to breathe. And I should show you this. My lips are touching the mouthpiece. I'm just opening them up to get the air in. Okay, the air's not coming into the mouthpiece, the air's coming in from the sides. So I breathe. I'm just getting air sounds right now. I'm concentrating on my tongue motion doing the syllable 2, and I'm concentrating on how relaxed I feel because I want the same feeling when I'm getting sound. So I'd like for you to put the mouthpiece up. I'm going to play a pattern. I'd like for you to play it back. Next pattern is going to be in a triple meter. Great. Now I add the final component, the sound. So all I need to do, think about the lip buzzing. My lips touch, I breathe, they close, and then I buzz out, thinking the syllable 2. Okay, so I close my lips, put it up, I breathe, I open my mouth, but I'm still touching the rim, I breathe in, yes, that sounds funny, I sound like a duck. Okay, just to get that out of the way. Alright, so now let me go through that process again, and I'd like you to repeat the patterns that I'm going to do. I may use some words like duple or triple. That's perfectly fine. Just imitate what I'm doing. So M. I'm going to be in triple now. Great. Hopefully you felt just as relaxed as going. That's the key. Okay? When you play an instrument, you want it to be fun and you want it to be relaxed. You don't want it to be something that's stressful or that's causing you pain. Okay, now here's the fun thing. We're going to play some songs on the mouthpiece. You don't have to worry about fingering any valves or reading any notes this way, right? So we're just going to play some songs. So let's take something like Hot Cross Buns. Let me get my key. I'm going to go over to my handy-dandy piano. Bum, bum, bum. Listen to Hot Cross Buns. And I don't use any lyrics for this. Do, 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 do. Pretty popular song, right? And that's the way we know this song of Hot Cross Buns. What I'm going to do is first I'm going to do this on the mouthpiece with air sounds. We're just articulating. I want to make sure that my air is flowing and that I can articulate going which is the rhythms of the song. So I'm going to put it up, separate my lips, breathe, good. I've got the articulation going. I'm relaxed. Now I'm going to hear the song in my head. Bum 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 bum, and now I'm going to go for it on the mouthpiece. going to do that again. I want to get the pitches a little bit more crystal clear. But you see the advantage of playing the mouthpiece. I could play any song I wanted to, not worry about the vowels. So I'm going to do that again, and I'd like for you to try to repeat this after me. I'm going to do the first phrase, and then I'd like you to do it. Let me get that again. Bum, 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 here it is. Play that. Second phrase. And then I put it together. Bum, 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 here it is. How'd you do? Don't worry if you didn't get the notes crystal clear or if you just got, that's fine, okay? The buzzing sound will get clearer with the more practice that you're doing. In my next video, I'm going to talk about putting it all together with the trumpet, hand position, posture, and breathing and all the works. So if you like this video, please share this with your friends, refer them to my website, sign up for my website. You're going to see more videos like this addressing whole bunches of issues. I have a weekly blog where I address a whole bunch of teaching and music education issues, and I also have some performance videos with me with my other bands and such. So thanks for spending your time with me, and I hope you sign up for my website. Have a great day.